Hey there everybody, PTPOP here with all four lobes of my brain severely in debt. And today I'm going to talk about how people can't pay their bills. And it's a real serious, it's a bad atmosphere out there here in the United States of America. People can't pay their bills. People are living in their cars. They're living in the streets. And it's really rough out there. And this is kind of this video is born from my other video from a couple days ago where somebody told me I was just an old fart yelling at the clouds. I'm so negative because I'm not having fun anymore with call center videos. Oh my God, I'm such a nasty, dirty, negative bastard. Guys, the world sucks out there right now. And if you want some place to go where you can medicate yourself and continue to numb yourself with positive Pollyanna saccharine baloney, go somewhere else. Because I ain't the place. I ain't the guy. I never have been. I've always been a kind of living, well, not always. There was a time when I was completely medicated in pop culture and rock music and delusional thinking. And it's too bad my mother's not alive. She'd probably tell you more. But guys, I'm not going to sit here and try to candy coat everything and tell you, if you just think hard enough and just think nice, wishful thinking, and you pray to the magical man in the clouds, all your debt's going to go away. Yeah. And for $39.99, you can buy this book that I wrote about how to do it. Now, I'm not Wayne Dyer. I'm not Tony Robbins. So today what I'm going to do is show you some examples of people who are really struggling. We're really having a hard time making ends meet. So this is TikToker at SarahSilly23. He says, I can't pay my rent, I can't pay my bills.
My paycheck was short $300.
Now she doesn't say why her paycheck is short $300. I don't understand. Is somebody docking her pay? Is a bill collector? A student loan company taking money out of her paycheck? I don't understand.
My paycheck was short $300. I can't pay my rent on time. My car insurance is past due. It's like over $300. My energy bill is past due and I've been paying little bits. And that's over $900. One of my senior technicians quit. And I tell you guys all.
Her senior technician, so does she own a business? Is she talking about her rent for her home or rent for her business?
All the time that when you have struggles like this and you feel like you just.
Because a $900 energy bill, like electric bill, that's huge. She must be talking about a business here.
You don't know what to do. I have a wedding to save for. I'm gonna practice what I preach because I know God's got this.
God's got this, huh? Guys, I'm so sick of hearing people, they're gonna put it in God's hands. There's a lot of people sitting on the street saying that they put it in God's hands, and God seemed to kind of a little bit deaf on your prayers there as you're living in a tent off of the interstate.
For any of you guys in the same boat, let's pray together.
Oh, Jesus, help us. I'm sorry, lady. You got to manage your finances better. I'm sorry. So this is TikToker at OMG Osh. Oh my gosh. When she can't afford rent.
How much do I owe you for rent again?
$800.
I just don't have a lot of money at the moment. Is there something else that I could give you instead?
No, I'd probably just like the money.
Could I interest you in one tip?
I'd really just appreciate the rent money.
There's so much surface area, so many options. Money.
I don't really want that.
And I'm into everything. holding hands, tongue in mouth, showering with my clothes off, watching each other go number 2.
You know what? Let's just forget about it, okay?
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just monopoly money.
Okay. Thanks. My turn.
That was funny. Add some levity there. Some brevity, levity, laughter. Things are extremely expensive right now. We went into the grocery store a couple days ago to buy chicken breast and orange juice. And I went over to there's 2 different juice sections. There's the organic orange juice, and then there was the commercially released orange juice that's Tropicana and all that stuff. So I go over to the organic orange juice bottles, and I pull up this bottle, and it's $14 for like a half gallon of orange juice. And I just about dropped it on the floor. Like, where are you squeezing these oranges? In like a golden palace somewhere with fairies and gnomes that do all the work for you? $14 for a half gallon of orange juice? And you walk over to the Tropicana section, and it's $4.99 for a half gallon of orange juice. But we have this app on our phone, which is called, find it here, Yuka, Y-U-K-A. And you can scan the barcode of what you're buying, and it will tell you if it's decent. If it gives you a score of 0 to 100. If it's 100, it's a really healthy food. If it's like below like 50, it's pretty bad. And it tells you if it's got high in sugar, there's chemicals and additives in it. Like the Tropicana stuff was okay. It didn't score that well, but it spoke to my pocketbook. It said my pocketbook. Spoke to my pocketbook, you sexy boys. It spoke to my wallet. Sven here has a pocketbook. I want your pocketbook. And it was cheap, so I bought it. Despite the fact that it wasn't the healthiest stuff in the world. But it's expensive out there. And we went to buy chicken breast. 3 chicken breasts, maybe 2 pounds of chicken, something like that, was $14. Just for 3 chicken breasts. Okay, so this is Americans Can't Afford Home or Rent in 2025. Now this, I believe, is the host at Grant Chatter. And she's looking at this video by, I don't know who this is. This is why people can't afford housing.
What I'm about to say may piss a lot of landlords off, but I don't really care at all. But I'm gonna read to y'all the qualifications that this person wants for this house. And it ain't an amazing ass house. We're not talking about anything super expensive. The rent, like I said, is $16.95, $40 application fee per adult. They want you to make 3.5 times the rent. Standard for whatever reason is 3 times the rent.
Now it's like that all across the country. 3.5 times the rent. As I've said in another video, I went to my apartments I lived in when I was a little kid in 3rd and 4th grade, and I went to the leasing office and asked them how much it cost to live there. In 1975, it was $225 a month for my parents. That same apartment, maybe, if I'm stretching it, probably 900 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, living room, dining room, kitchen, was now $1,500 a month. They had just raised the rent they had just raised it $300 a month because they put in granite countertops and new carpeting or luxury vinyl tile. $1,500 a month, and those are the cheap apartments in my hometown.
Majority of Americans don't even make 3 times a $1,600 a month rent. I don't know where people just get up and be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make this a national standard that people have to make 3 times the rent amount.
Where do they come up with it? And they won't pay anybody a living wage. Nobody will pay anybody a living wage.
Majority of people can afford 2 times the rent on a specific basic home like this. But this person is going even further. They don't want you to have 3 times.
Okay, so the person that is hosting this video, I want to give her credit, is Grant Chatter. This is the woman on the left. I don't know who this is on the right, but this is Grant Chatter. She's watching this video.
What I'm about to say may piss a lot of landlords off, but of the rent to equal the amount of the security deposit. So that's $16.95 times 2. All right. And on top of that, we're not even talking about your utilities and all the things that you have set up. They want you to have rental insurance before you move in. Standard rental insurance is probably about $25 a month. Let's just say that. Before you can even move into this house, sitting in a savings account somewhere or just idle money, you already got to come off of this amount of money.
I agree. That is a lot of money. And I understand the struggle with trying to find a new place to move into, to rent, and again, to own. You know, there's a whole other array of qualifications and complications that come with that. But this is a reality right now. And housing is so unaffordable.
Housing is terrible right now. I've got a friend who manages a mobile home park and went up to meet with him. And he's selling his I guess you call them manufactured homes. You can either sell them, you can either buy them, or you can rent them. And I said to him, I said, so if I was, let's say I was single and I was living on my own, I said, could you rent to me? He said, not unless you showed proof of income. I said, so I'd have to come in here and buy one of the houses. He goes, yeah, you'd have to buy one of the houses, but you got to pay the lot fee. And so I'm sitting here trying to figure out, how do people make it? You know, not everybody can walk even into a mobile home park. Some of these places are fairly cheap to buy, but it's a far different environment and a financial situation than buying a home. Completely different. But how do people make it? I don't know, have any idea how people make it. Here we got here. I don't know what we got here. The daisy. Oops, a daisy.
Serious question. How are people?
So this is Ray. I think this is Ray D444. I can't afford 2025. And you people say, well, Pete, you're so negative. Not everybody's living in the street. Well, people are just one step away from living in their car.
Affording anything in 2025. I'm having surgery in 2 weeks on my neck, so I was told to get certain types of shirts so it wouldn't bother the area. I go to Goodwill. I'm looking at prices $9.99 for used shirts that are of no brand of value at all anywhere. Like maybe it was Target. I don't even know. I probably could go to Target and get it for like brand new for the same price at this point. I don't know.
And she's right. Have you been in a Goodwill lately? There's 2 Goodwills in my town here. And I've been in both of them. And I went to this one of them, and they had, like coffee tables for sale. And the coffee tables that they were selling for like $100 were covered with the previous owner's spooge. There was like, God only knows what kind of stains on this thing. Crusty fingerprints. God only knows what's on this thing. For $100, I could walk into Target right now and buy a brand new crappy coffee table for $100. Why would I go to Goodwill for the same thing? It's almost like there's this intentional thing going on out there where they don't want anybody to be able to afford anything. It seems like it's across the board.
But seriously, how is it that I have just gotten priced out of a thrift store? Not only that, I cannot remember the last time I actually went out and had a meal in a restaurant. We do not order out. We don't even get pizza because we're trying to save everything for 2025 with all of my health stuff. I am so sick of my own fucking cooking. You have no idea. I'm a bad cook.
Well, okay. Well, eating out isn't healthy for you anyway, hon. Not. I mean, eating out is terrible. But just awful shit. So this guy is a financial advisor. And this is what I'm talking about. Your basic person here in the United States doesn't have any comprehension or understanding of basic finance. Your average person probably doesn't even know how to balance a checkbook or understand positive balances versus a negative balance. debits and credits, things like that. And this is at Home Loan Coach Tony. Now, I don't know this guy from a bag of potatoes, but listen to what he says here. This is how people go broke in 2025.
People are just weird, bro. I just quoted somebody $7,900 on a mortgage, and they went,
$7,900 on a mortgage. $7,900. What is this, like a 10,000 square foot home? Who can afford $7,900 unless you're a big time doctor? Really, I mean, really, that's a whole lot of money.
and I went, you can't afford that. And they went, yeah, we can. And I go, no, you can't. And I go, can you? I go, look, there's one thing between qualifying, there's another thing between affording. You can't afford this. Tell me how you're going to afford it.
Now, I'll give you an example. Back in 2001, I was working for WorldCom and I was making close to six figures. I was about to make six figures my second year there. And I was off in this suburb of Cleveland on the east side called Mayfield Heights. And I was looking at a house. I was desperate to get out of my condo. I was desperate to get out of this town in the southwest side of Cleveland called Parma. And I had found this beautiful house in Mayfield Heights that was, I don't remember how much it was, but it was like $150,000. Now, keep in mind, this is 24 years ago. And I qualified for it. The bank qualified for up to $250,000. Keep in mind, that was way more than I could afford, and I really couldn't afford $150,000 house, but I got approved. I was just about to make an offer on it, but my payments would have been really tight. I was going to be, my monthly payment was going to be like $600 a month or $800 a month. And keep in mind, again, this is 25 years ago. I could have swung it, but I would have been walking a tightrope. And 2 weeks later, before I accepted or I made an offer on the house, I got laid off. But I got approved for like some weird amount of $250,000. There's no way I could have afforded a $250,000 mortgage.
Because I got to explain this if you guys ever come back. Yep. And they're like, well, we're going to have my mother-in-law move in, and then we're going to have this uncle move into another room. And so they're going to rent out a portion of their house in order to be able to substantiate the almost $8,000 mortgage. And then I'm like, well, what are you going to do if they move out? And they're like, well, we'll figure it out. And then I went, because I really don't want to do the deal. What are you going to do when they don't pay the rent? You have an $8,000 mortgage and you can't work. And they're just like, well, they're going to risk it.
Well, just get it done. That's their bottom line.
Well, and then I go, you have no savings either. So if you can't save right now on a $4,000 mortgage, how are you going to afford an extra $4,000?
And people don't understand. The average American does not understand basic finance, that if you don't have anything in the bank and you're not able to make a savings now and you want an $8,000 mortgage, it doesn't add up. There's no way. You may want the houses. You can wish all you wish, and you can do all you want. You can want that house as much as you want. You can wish and wish and wish you had that house because it's so glorious.
Well, you can wish in one hand and crap in the other and see which gets filled first.
And that's true. Thank you, Burgess. And it just doesn't add up. You have to have some common sense. But most people have none. They have absolutely no common sense, financial common sense or otherwise.
I think we're going to start seeing more refis. People are going to get tapped out. They have majority of the homeowners anyways, have majority of their nest egg in their house. So I think they're going to do cash out refis to be able to pay off credit card debt or.
Well, this guy's obviously I don't know. You have to have some equity built up in your house to do a refi. So if you've got $50,000 in equity in your house, and you do a refi, and you've got $100,000 in debt, it's not going to pay off your debt. Because I think most people are maxed out to all their debt. They've got a mortgage, they got an $800,000 mortgage, and they got another $200,000 in debt in cars, car loans, and credit cards. don't have enough equity. There's no equity. So I don't know what he's talking about. I know what he's, in theory, I've used my mortgage in a house that I had many years ago. I refinanced to pay off my student loans, but there was equity in the house.
Sustain a way of life or anything like that. And then they're going to rinse and repeat.
Well, I just took that call literally 2 days ago for one of the clients in Ohio where she was like, look, I don't want to touch my rate. I'm at 3.5%, but if I have to, I need the cash out of my house.
3.5%. That's amazing. All right, this is the last one here. This is poor tenant can't pay her rent. No, I'm sorry. This is not the last one. This is poor tenant can't pay her rent. This is TikToker Jeff never had job security.
Hey TikTok, how you doing? So,
hey, how you
tenant
doing there,
story
buddy?
Here. We have a tenant who hasn't paid her rent in 3 months. Her rent is $1,500 a month, so she owes $4,500.
The girl in the back seat there, buddy.
The courts are closed at the end of December and beginning of January, so she got like 3 weeks where we couldn't even go to court. She has a court date this Thursday, but she hasn't paid her rent. She says that she doesn't have the money to pay her rent. Yet this week she was at Epcot Center in Florida on vacation.
Yeah. These people are full of shit. They're sitting there sobbing in front of the camera that they can't pay anything, but they're dumb as a box of rocks. They're out at Epcot Center. They're going to restaurants. They're going to Subway. You shouldn't be doing any of that stuff if you can't pay the rent.
Hey TikTok, how you doing? So
no, I don't heard you.
But she hasn't paid her rent. She says that she doesn't have the money to pay her rent. Yet this week she was at Epcot Center in Florida on vacation. So it costs money to go there. Lots of money.
Yeah, Epcot Center is a lot more than your rent. It's horribly expensive. This is TikToker neighbor videos. No, what you're doing. So this, I don't know, this might be put on for her doorbell camera. This seems kind of staged, but this is what people think.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Trying to get into my house. That won't work anymore. I've changed the lock. Why? You haven't paid for 3 months. Yeah, but I sorted it out with Diane. This is my house. It's not Diane's house. It is not your house. It's my house. I pay rent here. You did pay rent. You paid rent about 3 months ago. But I still own this place. You don't own it. I am the owner.
Yeah, people that rent think they own it. This is England, but I guess, people's brain boxes are just as empty in England as they are here in the United States, because the UK is kind of like the United States' 51st state. I think we've helped destroy the United Kingdom too. People really think they own when they're renting. People have no comprehension, rent versus own, mortgage versus rent. Absolutely no comprehension.
Well, I've spoken to Diane. I've lost my job. Yeah, you've lost your job or whatever. But I mean, three months ago you paid me rent. I can't tell the bank. I can't tell them you'll get 3 months. We worked out a payment plan. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Trying to get into my. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? I rented it from her. You didn't rent it from her. You rented it from me. The money went from her to me. But I've sorted out a plan with her. You can sort out whatever you want with her, but it's no good to me, is it? No, of course you can't.
So, this woman, obviously, I don't know if this is real or not, but it sounds like she's renting. She went through a third party to pay this guy who owns the structure, but, he's kicking her out. So this is, who was this fine person? The corporate clapback? Is that who this is? Let me see. I think this is who this is. This is the income that is considered poverty levels. So this woman goes over the poverty levels here in the United States. And listen to this. I'm going to end with this because this is how crazy it is in this country. Some government official, the CIA MKE ultra group of people that decide everything financially for people in this country. This is what they decide is the poverty levels, and this is the kind of money they need to survive. This is absolute insanity. And I've been there because when I was a little kid, we were on food stamps. My dad had a severe issue with being a booze hound. Mom was a booze hound for a little bit too. We were living off of food stamps and had no food in the fridge, and we're getting kicked out of places. It was awful. And this is over 50 years ago.
I just read this article about the income that is considered poverty level in 2025. It's pretty interesting, to say the least. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, grocery prices have surged 28% since 2019. Gas prices have surged more than a third over the same time period. And renters are spending 31% more on their leases than they were 6 years ago. Now, with saying that, let me explain how the poverty line is defined. The poverty line is established to determine the minimum income a person or a household needs to fulfill their basic requirements.
Now listen to this. Listen to this, lady. Keep in mind from what we've seen before, your average rent in this country in a decent neighborhood is $1,500 to $2,000 a month, and they want you to make 3 times that in salary to pay the rent. Keep that in mind as you listen to this.
Meaning food, clothing, and shelter. And the U.S. Census Bureau is directed each year to establish the poverty threshold. There is very little information available on how they form their calculations. But what is known is the calculation increases as the family size increases. Now that I got that out the way, the poverty line for an individual in the United States outside of Alaska and Hawaii is $15,650 a year. A house
$15,650 a year is what is considered the poverty level.
Household of 2 is $21,150.
So the more people you have in the house, the higher the more money they allow you to get to be at the poverty level.
A household of 3 is $26,650. How is one to afford basic necessities, food, clothing, and shelter, plus inflation, off of $15,650 a year? We also need to factor in transportation costs because of the return to office. The $15,650 is the single person. Now the $21,150 is for a family of 2. They're supposed to pay rent, plus their utilities, plus food, plus transportation, and their personal needs off of $21,250. Oh my God.
It's true. Where did they come up with these numbers? It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible to live off of those numbers. If somebody's making minimum wage, and I think here in Ohio, minimum wage is $8.50 an hour. And like I was just at the local park system here, and they were going to start people out at minimum wage to pick up garbage around the park. There's no way if I did that full time that I could even live in my car practically. It would be impossible. So I don't know what everybody's situation is out there. I know a lot of you guys that watch me are in the UK. You know, is it just as bad out in UK and other places? What is your story like out there? Because here in the US, it's insane. The housing market is lost. It's gone. I mean, you can't buy a house for under $300,000 to $500,000 in this area. A decent brand new house, or not even brand new. 50-year-old houses that are like 1,100 square feet are going for $250,000 to $300,000. And this isn't just here in Ohio. This is across the country. Rent in a good neighborhood starts at $1,500 to $2,000 a month for a 1 to 2 bedroom, and that's not even like 900 square feet. If you want to live in Ghetto, you can get a good deal, but you got to deal with a lot of gunfire at night and cockroaches and mice and break-ins and things like that. You wonder if you're going to live day to day as you go out to get in your car. Is your car going to still be there? They've got us over a barrel, man. So what's your story been? What's your story now? I mean, are you surviving? How do people survive? So I'm PTPOP, and let me know in the comments what your existence is like in this crazy economy worldwide. I'll talk to you later, people. Have a good day. Hasta la vista, baby.
Then I think I understand you now. Yes, I understand you now.
Would you like fries with that? Would you like fries with that?